Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my internship presentation. My internship was not the normal internship because I'm actually getting close to retiring at Toyota. I've got about 25 years of experience. I'm a little young, but I did start work young to retire. And what I may end up doing is going, once I retire, work for another company. But I didn't want to take a moment and do this presentation and make sure that I get credit for it. So I'm going to switch over to um, my presentation. Hopefully I can do this right. I've done this several times, and every time I seem to think I do it, and hopefully you can see this. So first question is, why Toyota? So I chose Toyota, and I'm going to go back kind of more towards why I started a career in Toyota. And the biggest thing was I liked cars. I liked, um, the whole idea of cars. My brother-in-law actually worked at Toyota and said, "Hey, I know that you love working with cars and you work with parts and now vehicle distribution. I was wondering if you wanted a job." So I'm like, "Heck yeah, I want a job." So that's why I initially chose Toyota, not only for a career, but if I had to do an internship, it would have been with an automobile company. So my process and kind of what I did to really go through, and it's not so much obtaining my internship, but really the process of getting hired on Toyota was um, starting out as a temporary. I wanted to work at an automobile company so much that I started out picking parts on the floor, and I would consider that kind of my internship, and I did that as a temporary worker, and kind of worked my way up from there, really from the bottom level, entry level, all the way up to my current job right now which is doing vehicle logistics and managing that whole supply chain. So quite a good story there for me, and I've been back and forth to several facilities on the West Coast, and just about 2 years ago we moved out to Texas with our headquarters move. Things I've learned really kind of going through my whole career, but I would say the things that I learned really at Toyota was the respect for people and the respect for humanity that the company actually lives by. They actually do a ton of training, and it really comes down to what am I giving to the company, but also what is the company giving back? And as an individual, your opinion matters. You may be at the bottom of the barrel, let's say on the ladder of success. But if you're the person that's actually doing the work, you're considered the expert. So I would say that the biggest thing that I pulled out and I've learned from Toyota, and really my entire career, has been to give back. What you learn and what you gain, you always want to give back. And through Kaizen, you always want to make things better. So I've learned to, not accept the status quo, but always know that there is a way to improve the overall um, work environment and the things that we do on a daily basis. The work experience for the future and kind of what I'm planning on doing is once I kind of go through, I probably have about 4 more years realistically with Toyota. I thought about cutting that down, but realistically, my future plans is to really take what I'm learning not only in school, but what I've learned at Toyota. My emphasis is on entrepreneurship and actually taking all that experience with me and possibly starting up a couple of businesses with a couple of buddies of mine that have some capital. We've got some ideas that we're floating around, and we'll probably end up doing one of those things, and kind of branch off and start our own company and be our own bosses, so to speak. And then the advice that I'd give for, oh, I don't know why I did that. Advice that I'd give for others that are just kind of starting out is networking. I mean, that's the key that I didn't do enough of early on in my career. I should have networked quite a bit more. There's a lot of important things that come out of networking. 9 times out of 10 jobs that I've gotten within Toyota have been because of my networking efforts. So it's not so much, the old saying, what it is in all, when you look at the big picture, it is who you know, and it's how you've networked to get to know those people. As simple as, using, for example, this semester, using my internship to be able to talk to VPs and kind of using that as an angle to say, hey, I'm working on something for school. I have to interview, somebody I respect that's a high ranking officer. I want to, interview a VP. And so that kind of helped me out, um, to be able to do that or give me kind of not an excuse, but an avenue or a door to really go and talk to, a VP, which I wouldn't really have a reason to go through and do. So I was able to interview them and interviewed quite a few people that way. So it actually helped with my networking. But I would say that's my biggest piece of advice. Network, network, network. You can't go wrong with networking. Get your name out there. It's not so much getting into the weeds of all the work. It's really how you network and really what people think of you that makes the biggest difference. So with that, I'm going to go back to, let's see here, there we go. So with that, for me, that's kind of my biggest, presentation. I wanted to make sure that I got this out and got it done, even though I didn't do a traditional internship. I did use the project that I was working on, through a project that we had at work for my internship. But anyhow, I had a great semester, really enjoyed doing the internship, and look forward to bigger and brighter things tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.